Here we go. Last corporate update for 2022 before we move into my favorite number 23. So as you come in, maybe just mention in the chat where you're logged in from. It's actually something I miss from the old days. We used to run webinars and people used to say where they were calling in from, and it was always probably one of the most exciting parts of the call, hearing from people from all over the world. But yeah, if you guys can just type into the chat where you are calling in from before we kick off. Tampa, Florida, welcome on. Oh, greetings from Chicago, Stockport, UK. Wow, it's late for you over there, Robin. Thanks for coming on. British Columbia, welcome on. Dennis, welcome on from Moscow. Dennis, I had a call with Mikhail the other day and just reiterated that myself and Albert want to get on a call with you, Mikhail, and some of your leaders and look at maybe some special promotions that you guys can get behind. Welcome on from Palm Desert, Mark from California. Welcome on, sir. Greetings, Phil from Malaysia. Good to see you on, sir. I think you've met up with Albert just the other day. Italy, welcome on, Lides from Italy. No, we do not want some of your snow. Down here in Australia, it's summer. Thank you very much. Welcome on, Sergey from Israel. And is that Peru? No, Perth. Welcome on from, oh no, Perm. That might be Russia somewhere, I think. Welcome on from Nigeria. Another one from Malaysia, Ontario, Canada. Fantastic, a real international flavor here. All right, well, listen, my name's Marcus Schubert. I'll be your co-host for today. It's, what is it, the 23rd of December, 2022 here in Australia. For some of you, it might be still the 22nd of December, but this will be our last corporate update for this year. And, you know, we are rounding out our first year in business, which it's incredible really how far we've come. And before I push up the PowerPoint presentation and go through the official slides for today, I just wanted to acknowledge, you know, where we are. And as we go through this presentation, we'll talk about some of the things we've overcome. We'll talk about some of the things we've achieved. And before I actually do that, looks like Albert's got a special guest on. So come on, Albert, introduce your little mate there.
He's Panda 11. He's waiting to grow up to be very big. He's just a baby right now. But when he
actually got a mohawk, or is he short hair like you? Let's
we're gonna hear him roar soon. That mohawk is standing up straight now.
Very good, very good. Well, yeah, thanks for that little cameo. So yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge, I suppose, that it's normal for there's actually a big movement around living in the now, right? Living in now, focusing on what's happening right now, being present, and that's wonderful. I agree and I believe in that. But it's part of human nature that when you're living in the now, sometimes you kind of get so focused on what's right in front of us that we don't really zoom back and look at the big picture. So today, that's what we want to do for everybody in showing you really what we've achieved and also focus on where we are going. Because, you know, we're 1 year old. Now, when we're 1 year old as a human, when we're a baby, you get a toothache and all you do is scream all day because that's the end of the world, right? Because you're focused on the toothache and that's what's going on for you right now. But in the scheme of life, none of us probably even remember having a toothache at 1 year old and screaming our head off all night and keeping our parents up. And then you get to go to high school when you're 15 years old, you wake up in the morning, you've got a high school crush that you can't wait to see at school, and you've got this dirty great pimple on your chin or on your nose or on your forehead, and that's all you can focus on. The world is over, right? It's an absolute bedlam. You just cannot even face the day. You don't want to go to school. You look in the mirror, and that's the only thing you see. But come fast forward, now you're a bit older. And if you're like me, you celebrate when you get a pimple and I go, yes, I'm still young, right? So I just want to acknowledge where we are as we go through this presentation. And, you know, I want everybody to be damn proud of where we are and to be damn proud of what we've achieved and to be excited about where we're going. So with that, I'm going to push up this PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to take you through some stuff that I think you'll find really quite interesting. So Albert and I were really lucky. We actually just come back from a few days in Thailand. This is part of the group, not everybody here, but it was quite exciting to actually meet with some of the key people on our team, because we've been going for 12 months now. Obviously, this is me on the left here. This is Azim Khan, who's our Chief Technical Officer and co-owner in PunkPanda. Now, I'd never met Azim in person. So we've been, building this company together, and we'd only ever spoken online. So it was amazing to get a chance to meet with Azim. This is obviously Albert, co-founder and CEO. Craig Tortolani was able to come in from the US, who's working with us in our partnership with Decryption Labs. And we also have Russ here as well, who's one of our chief developers, who's been working on the Panda Legends game, and now also is assisting with some code reviews and things on the Panda app. So this wasn't the only people that were there. We'll probably get some more photos. Actually, I think we already did share some photos into the Telegram group of us. And I couldn't actually believe that somebody said in the Telegram group, oh, well, how does this help the token price? And I'm thinking, well, I'm not sure who this person is, but you've clearly never run a company before, and you've clearly never led a group of people before. Because anytime you can get together with people where you're working together towards a common goal, not only can you build and bond those relationships, but you can bring your minds together as one and work out the best way to overcome the current challenges you have, the best direction to move forward together and be on the same page. So it was an incredible opportunity to do all of that. And we really appreciate those people who were able to attend. And we also appreciate that some that we did invite had prior commitments and couldn't make it as well. So we're going to do more of that moving forward. So I want to set the tone today and talk about what our goals are as a company. And really, there's not too many goals we've actually talked about that we have not hit so far. So we're starting to build some credibility and some integrity in what we're saying. Our big goal that we want to focus on is 100 million members in the next 5 years, with a minimum of $150 million in revenue. Right now, how are we going to get there, and what are our chances of actually getting there? Well, right now we're sitting at over 1.2 million members. And as we go forward over the next 12 months, I don't think it's a big stretch of the imagination to say that each one of those members on average can introduce 5 people over the next 12 months to this messaging app as we improve, as we grow, as things get to where we want them to be. So from 5 million, we do the same the next year. Everyone introduced 5 people. Now, it's not just individuals at this point, because we have entire organizations and companies sitting on the sidelines who are waiting for us to say, listen, now's the right time for us to integrate your 100,000 people, your 200,000 people, because they want to make this app available to everybody within their organization. So as we go forward and get the app to where we want it to be, it's not going to be hard for us to scale in leaps and bounds. So from 25 million, only doubling the third year to 50 million, and then doubling again to 100 million. Now, let's say we achieve this, and it's not about whether we're going to achieve this or not. It's just about when. We might achieve this a year early in 2025, or we might achieve it in 2027. So when we achieve 100 million members for this app, have a think about, well, that's only a couple of years from now. We're moving into 2023. So 3 years from now, 100 million members. Well, the tokens are not going to be delivered into supply, the total tokens, until 2036, which is 10 years after our goal of hitting 100 million members in 2026. So have a think about these tokens that are coming out every 20 minutes right now. Have a think about these tokens that you're either accumulating or selling right now, and think, well, if there's 275 million tokens in circulation in 2036, and we've got 100 million members, that doesn't leave too many tokens per person. In fact, it leaves 2.75 tokens per person. So as we go forward and grow, and as we go forward in time, people are going to start to recognize the scarcity and the real value of these tokens. Think about if we have 100 million members, and when we have 100 million members, how much could each of these tokens be worth? So before we go into some of the milestones that we've achieved and where we're going forward, we ran a World Cup fantasy giveaway promotion. And I just wanted to announce the winners of that. So whether you're on live, congratulations, or whether you're watching this recording, or whether you see this in the Telegram group, the first place goes to Bam1588, who wins 25 entries into the OG Collection NFT raffle. So the first prize being worth 25 Ethereum. Second place winner, Real Samuel, wins 10 entries into the raffle. And third place goes to the screen. Sorry, I can't pronounce that name. But if that's you, reach out to us or reach out to one of the Telegram admins, and we'll make sure that we've got you connected to the raffle, so that if you happen to be one of the lucky winners, we can get that prize to you. So Albert, I think
third place was Eki Jarul. I just wanted a shot at pronouncing that name. Eki Jarul.
Good work, mate. I think you nailed it. Now, so let's focus on where we are right now. We're sitting within the crypto market, and we all know that there's some major challenges that have been and are happening right now. When we first started the project, Bitcoin was at $62,000 US per Bitcoin, and $16,000 right now. So, you know, if all you want to do is focus on the price of the project, you're focusing on the wrong thing. The price of the token is not where the value is. The price of Bitcoin right now is not where the value is. You need to understand what the project is, what it's about, and where value comes from. Very few projects right now have a token that's going up in price. We obviously were affected by the lunar and the Celsius collapse that happened toward the end of July, right around when we focused on listing the PPM token. And, you know, that's probably, it's not really a regret of mine, but it's probably something that I want to apologize to the community for, because, you know, when we started this project, both myself and Albert, we had some core principles that we wanted to live by, and we wanted to implement and run through this company. And one of those principles was that we wanted to bring something to the world where we could help people. We wanted to bring something to the world where people could rely on when we say we're going to do something, we do it. And we wanted to bring something to the world where people could be helped and not hurt. All right. So, you know, we said, right, we're going to list this token. And along the way, there's been naysayers. You're never going to list the token. And of course, we did what we said we were going to do, and we went ahead and listed the token. But it's got to the point now where we don't want to hurt people. And sometimes following up and doing what you said you would do, even though the total landscape in the entire world has changed, can mean that you're actually hurting the project, not helping it. And if you're hurting the project, then you're potentially hurting people who are involved in this project. So going forward, I don't want to see anything about people saying, well, you said you're going to do this. It's like, well, yeah, that was our goal and that was our intention. But when things change, when the wind changes, you can't say, well, you set the sail to the right and now you want to change it and go to the left. Well, when the wind changes, you have to change along with it. And that's just part of running a business. Anyone who's run a business knows that you need to adapt. So we had the FTX collapse, and I'm really sorry for those people who have been hurt during that as well. It's been a big hit to the industry and to the market. And that happened right before our first birthday celebration and our NFT promotion. So we've been really going against the headwind. And right now, the overall crypto market is totally sideways. But the great thing is that despite all of this, during 12 months, I mean, think about the tokens that you hold right now in your wallet. How many announcements have these companies made and said, right, now we've done this, now we've done that, now we've achieved this? Very few. And how many of those tokens do you even use their product? How many of them even have a product? How many of you know what that company's business revenue model is going forward into the future? How many of them get onto a corporate Zoom and tell you what's going on? Take ownership, take responsibility. So before you sit there and point the finger and be disappointed, we want to show you what we've achieved so you can be proud of it, because it's not us and you, all right? It's all of us together. This is a community-driven project, and we're all in the same boat. And this boat is either going to rise with the tide or it's going to sink to the bottom. And that's not an option for us. So we want to bring you with us, and we want to show you what we've achieved.
Just a little bit further on that, Marcus. I've been telling everybody, if you want to know exactly when the market is going to collapse, just ask Marcus and Albert, hey, are you guys ready to do some advertising for PunkPanda? And if we say yes, you know the market is going to collapse one way or another. because our listing, we put all the advertising out, then there's the lunar Celsius. Then we have our birthday, we put all the marketing out there, which is still going on, but you have the FTX collapse. The FTX collapse didn't affect us directly, but it's indirectly affected a lot of people that we were working on, and has caused a lot of damage for sure. Let me turn it back to you, Marcus.
Great, thanks, Albert. So one of the announcements we want to make for today is that, you know, we understand the token price is at 7 cents, and we certainly want to do what we can to address that. Now, we've engaged 2 marketing agencies. We've put 6 figures and more to both of them. And you know what? It just doesn't affect people who are sitting there on crypto right now. People don't want to convert their Bitcoin and to another token right now. They don't want to convert their Ethereum and their BNB. A lot of them have lost funds on FTX. So you just cannot market your way through winter. You know, you can want to harvest as much as you want, but if it's winter, right? So one of the things we're going to do is we've given an update to our withdrawal limits. And, you know, we've been really proud of our community, because majority of our community have really seen the vision for where we are going right from day one, before we had a single user with this app, right? Now we've got 1.2 million. And most of these people have come in with the mindset is that, hey, we need to give this project time to mature, to grow, develop, to generate its own revenue streams. And we need to give the market a time to recover and get through this crypto winter right now. But unfortunately, there's a small percentage of people who started selling at $2, and they kept selling at $1. They kept selling at 50 cents. And I'm thinking, do you understand these are assets that you're giving away? Do you understand what these are going to be worth in the future? And you're selling them at 50 cents, you're selling them at 20 cents, you're selling them at 10 cents. And there's still people, would you believe, are selling at 7 cents, and it's not on, because these people are being selfish and they're hurting the entire community, right? It doesn't just hurt me, it doesn't just hurt the company. And these are the same people going, what are you doing to make the token price go up? Well, who do you think wants to buy a token when they see it listed at $1.50 and going down, down, down every single month because you're selling your tokens? All right, that's like saying you're going to come into partnership with us and we're going to build a 6-star hotel, and we're building the first floor, we're building the second floor. We need to build 20 floors, and then we can put people in there and we can rent out the rooms and we can generate revenue. And before we've even built the second floor, you're in there stealing bricks from the basement and wood to go and burn to cook dinner. And you're wondering why the hotel's not having occupancy. So withdrawal limits right now, going forward, we're going to limit those to 0.5% for people who are receiving free tokens from the app, 0.5% per month. Corporate and ambassadors, also 0.5% per month. And anybody who's purchased tokens during the pre-sale, limit those to 1% per month. And we'll keep those withdrawal limits in place until the token price hits $2. We all need to understand we're part of a community and we all need to win together. And that means heading in the same direction and having the same disciplines together. So as a goal, our goal is to get that token price back to $2. So these withdrawal limits will stay in place until the token price hits $2 and maintains that level for at least 60 days. Then we'll review. And if the project and the market can stand it, we'll then increase the token withdrawal limits. So it's time we all start working together as part of a team for mutual goals. And, you know, it's unfortunate that it's just a small minority who really just haven't been focused on the big picture. And, you know, like I said, we started this project to help people. And unfortunately, when people get something for free, they don't put value on it. So unfortunately, it's mostly people who have been earning free tokens from the app or free rewards from the Panda Farm who have just been selling these because they don't see the value on it, and they're just here to take. So that's what we'll be doing. It's been actually quite encouraging the last 24 hours in the Telegram group. I've seen people saying, you know what, we should halt all withdrawals. We should have 0 withdrawals until we get the token price back to a respectable level. You know, and they referenced companies like Pi, which was one of the companies that we looked at as we were formulating the plan for PunkPanda. You know, Pi taught us that people would download an app, they would introduce it to 3 people minimum, and they would push a button every single day in the hope of receiving some free crypto. Now, that company's been going for, I think, 3 years now. Not a single person has been able to withdraw a single token, right? So people don't complain about that. So we're going to take a leaf out of their book and go, you know what? Until the price hits $2, we're going to keep the withdrawal levels low. Albert, do you want to add anything to that before we go forward?
No, because I think over the next few slides and stuff, we'll reference back to this.
Okay,
And then people will be very excited.
Very good. Now, in Thailand, we went through like a full open book review of the challenges we've overcome as a company, both internally and externally. We're not going to go through all of them today, but we just want to acknowledge some of them, because anybody can be smiling and happy and be part of the team when the team is winning and when there's no challenges. But when times get tough, that's when you really see what companies are made of. That's when you see what individuals are made of, and that's what you see when you see people's core values and whether they're actually going to go against those or not. So some of the challenges we've overcome along the way, first of all, we fought for weeks, right at the time when we moved from the beta app to the Bentley, we fought for weeks with Google and then successfully negotiated terms. This was right when the Russia-Ukraine war kicked off. Google was saying to us, hey, you know, why do you have so many accounts in your database from Russia? And you know, we need you to give us all of their name and details. And we say, no, we're not giving you their name and details. Our whole core values is around privacy, security. This is what the world wants. This is what we're going to give the world. So we're not going to give you their details. And we will manage to negotiate with them an ability to go forward without having to hand over and compromise anybody's privacy. So not only are we proud that we successfully navigated to get onto the Google Play Store after that point, but we're proud that we didn't compromise on our values of privacy and security to achieve that. We successfully shut down incredible DDoS attacks on our servers, just somebody trying to bombard our servers to try to shut down the app. We shut down over 183,000 bot accounts that were siphoning off tokens and taking those tokens away from the community and the people who are actually sharing and using the app. We filed trademarks and IP protections to the PunkPanda name and the logos, as well as defending pushback from numerous other Panda brands as we did that, so we can go around the world without any restriction. But let's get into the fun stuff and look at what we've achieved this first year. I mean, think about what you've achieved and what your company that you work for has achieved in the last 12 months. And then, you know what? I think we're going to stack up against anyone you can put up against us. We launched November last year with our beta app. We built a back office from scratch to handle the pre-sale and the tokens. We built and deployed the smart contract for the PPM token. We successfully took control from the past ownership and the past development team. We successfully completed a token pre-sale, and we paid all commissions to everybody during that time in BNB. We built 3 websites, punkpanda.io, punkpandafarm.com, and panda11.io. We built a total new Panda app, which incorporates 2 native messaging engines, which is built by the same team who built messaging engines and drone communication system for the Indian military. They operate within our app to give us total control and total privacy right now and not have to rely on third parties. We had Panda App 2.0 approved in Apple and Google stores. That's not an easy thing to do, and we've done it. We successfully had Panda 11 Sports Fantasy app also approved in the Apple iOS store. We successfully launched our Web3 DeFi farm with staking and farming, which is punkpandafarm.com. We also had the PPM token listed on PancakeSwap, also listed on the Change Now wallet. We created and launched the Panda Academy, which is live now, and a lot of people don't realize you can actually pay for that with PPM tokens. If you want to do that, if you've got tokens you've got access to, you can go to punkpandafarm.com and you can pay with PPM tokens, you can pay with your credit card, you can pay with BNB, Ethereum, and there's a few options there. We grew the Panda app database to over 1.2 million users. And that rolls off the tongue really easily, but we're going to see later on how many companies or how few companies have actually achieved that. We launched our Bitcoin staking program, which is in effect right now. We designed and launched the Panda merchandise shop now with over 10 products that people can buy, t-shirts, hats, mugs, panda bears, really cool stuff in there. We successfully designed and listed our first 72 OG NFTs on OpenSea. They're there right now. And we also fixed the flaw in our smart contract. We had an issue with one of the oracles that was continuing to rebalance wallets. So we're able to fix that without affecting what's going on with the token distribution. We did another thing that people never said we would do. Well, you'll never list on CoinGecko. You'll never list on CoinMarketCap. All right, well, we did that. We listed on CoinGecko. We listed on CoinMarketCap. And we also grew our Telegram group to over 20,000 members. And I'm proud to say that the support that you guys receive and anybody receives in that Telegram group, I think is second to none. Within minutes, someone can go in, they can ask a question and get a response from a live human or a program bot, which will give you access to the tools and the information that you need based on your question. That's manned 24/7, literally 365 days. So we've provided that to the community, and not many companies do that. And we produced, recorded, and released the PunkPanda song. If you want to go to Spotify, you want to go to Apple Music, you want to go to YouTube Music and listen to the PunkPanda song. And we did that mostly because it's a really cool song and it helps us with our message. But it was actually written by one of our members, Dami from Nigeria, and we just wanted to support her and her music career. So if you haven't heard that, get onto it. It's in the Telegram group. I actually really like it. Oh, here we go. So with that, Albert, you want to add anything before we get into the Panda app statistics?
Nope, this is the exciting part. This is the part where everybody was in the boardroom on a bright sunny day and would not leave that boardroom. And they were leaning forward and could not believe this. This is truly some amazing stuff here. Very proud of it.
Okay, so these are coming up 3-4 weeks old now, but you'll get the idea here. So we've got 1.2 million users of the app. Of those 1.2 million users, 836,000 users have used the text messaging aspect of the app. Of those, 711,000 have used text messaging in the last 30 days. These numbers are staggering because we've had the challenges and the ongoing challenges with this app. I really had no idea the numbers were this high until we looked at these stats. Of those users, 412,000 users have used the video and audio call feature on the app. And of those, 235,000 have used video audio calls in the last 30 days. 35,000 people have clicked the mining button in the past 24 hours. That was as of 3 weeks ago. We know the numbers are much higher now because people are starting to catch on. If they don't click the mining button, they don't receive tokens. In the past 24 hours at that point, 3,500 people were earning $10 or more per month from the app at that price of, I think the price was 9 cents at that point. And in that 24 hours, over 2,000 people would be earning $20 or more per month from the app when the token price was at 9 cents. So one thing I want you guys to understand is that we've got a few things we're going to roll out as far as announcements into the new year. And you know, even though you see the token price down, it's not going to take very much buy pressure to push the token price up. To give you an idea, the total sales when we had withdrawals at the end of November was around $35,000 in sales, right? So that took the price from 17 cents down to 9 cents, right? So there's not a lot of sales, which is affecting the price. And I think, Albert, you did a test the other day where I think you bought like $1,500 worth of tokens and it pushed the price up 10%. So it's not going to be hard to influence the price, but there's no point doing it with artificial volume, going and taking money from one pocket and throwing it into the other, because again, the people who are just selling for any price are just going to swallow that up. So when we have some partnerships lined up, when the market turns, and when we have something behind this that can actually sustain the volume, it's not going to take a lot of sales volume to push this price to 50 cents to $1 to $1.50 to $2. So don't be the teenager staring at the pimple, which is 9 cents right now, 7 cents right now, because it doesn't take much to move this price here. Now, another great stat was that we had 228,000 people how we've introduced one person or more to the app. And then the final one is, from the beginning of time, the total number of hacks that we have had on Panda app is 0. All right, that's impressive. Even the big boys can't say that. There's stuff all over the internet. If you go and research how many companies have had data hacks and security compromises, and we're talking the best and the biggest of the best, they've all had issues. We haven't had one just yet, touch wood. So what's next for PunkPanda? Well, we are finalizing a major partnership, which we'll announce into the new year. Albert, can you say as much as you can say without saying who it is about how significant this partnership will be for our project?
Sure. Without saying the name, it's a wallet exchange that has over 3 million members. And this is a bad way to describe them, but it kind of describes them in a nutshell. People tell me don't describe them like that. It's kind of a poor man's wallet, because actually here in the Philippines, I can have Bitcoin in this wallet. I can go into 7-Eleven and I can buy Bitcoin. I can also walk into about 20 different pawn shops that are in Cebu, and I can sell my Bitcoin for cash or for pesos. They can also do this in India. Well, the reason that the partnership might form here is that, you know, we've been building the Panda Legends game, and the first 10,000 NFTs are ready. They're done. Well, this company now wants to become not only the wallet and not only a liquidity provider, and that's why they're gaining a lot of traction, because where Celsius failed, they succeeded. So they're 3.2 million members. They think that's just going to skyrocket over the next few years. And you know, they've been in business about seven years right now. I first come across this wallet just about 7 years ago. And the other great thing about this wallet is that when you have when you do a transfer from Bitcoin to pesos, I don't have to deposit it into my bank account. I can deposit it into anybody's bank account. I can have 15 different bank accounts linked to that. So, you know, on most exchanges, when you do a withdrawal in fiat, it must be going to your bank account. So there's many advantages that they have that I've basically seen in no other wallet. There's no other wallet where I can walk into a pawn shop and actually sell my crypto, many forms of crypto, and receive cash for it, or walk into 7-Eleven and buy the crypto. So they got 3.2 million. They got really, really excited when they saw that we have over 1 million members in 1 year. So they're adding NFTs to their wallet, and they want to be like the poor man's. They want to make it a very simplified platform, so simple that a fifth grader could basically do it. And that's where we're coming into play. And it looks like our Panda Legends game is going to be the first prototype for that wallet. We're hoping to actually seal the agreement. So because we haven't, so we're just not giving the name yet, but it's looking spot on. They also just raised a series of capital, which totals $55 million. And that $55 million is actually seed money for smaller projects to partner with them. So we're looking very golden here in this crypto winter with that. So let me turn it back to you, and then we'll get into these other stats that just that are just mind-blowing here.
Thank you, Albert.
Yeah.
So our focus moving forward, we've added additional developer resources to Panda app, because we recognize the user experience is still not what we want it to be. So that's our number one focus, is to actually make that happen. Now, we know it's been a year, and when you're on that journey through that year, it can seem like a never-ending story. Yes. But we have come a long way. And one thing I will tell you is that if we were just building a messaging app and that's all it was, this would have been game over months and months and months ago, because it's not such a difficult thing to do. The challenges we have is that we're integrating new features that are not typically involved in a messaging app. So one of the things is delivering tokens every 20 minutes to your wallet. Another thing is tracking the 12 levels of your Panda Pals. Another thing is actually making it invitation only. So when these things all start to interact, that's where the challenges come from. We have just identified an issue which we believe was causing problems for a lot of people, and we've eliminated that, so we're excited. And that was basically where, at a point in time, Google was holding up our submissions. You know, we had a number of them banked up, waiting to be released into the Google Play Store. So what we did at that time was we started to release the APK file, where people could download the APK and start using that version. And what we've realized literally just a couple of days ago was that when that APK file then gets put into the Google Play Store, they seem to compress it in some way, and it was causing conflicts between the people who had the APK file versus what went into the Google Play Store. That was causing conflicts from Android to Android and Android to iOS as well. So going forward, the only place we will have updates will be when they're into the Google Play Store. That's really become a lot smoother. They're not holding things up as much. I'm not sure why there were delays for a number of months there. But that's actually something that we're able to identify just the other day. And we hope that that's resolved a lot of issues moving forward. Now, we're going to activate the Panda app subscriptions in the coming months. We're going to wait for the right time to do that. And that will include extra features. We've actually got some really cool new features that we can make available, and also additional revenue for people who upgrade to a premium or VIP membership. So this is kind of our version of saying, listen, we're building the hotel, and part of the plan is at some point, we're going to open up the hotel for people who want to pay, and the people who want the penthouse and are prepared to pay for the penthouse are going to contribute revenue to this hotel model. Right, so we're excited about that. You guys have seen the numbers of active users, and this is going to not only be good for the company, but a significant portion of revenue that comes from the paid services that we add to the app will go back to putting buy pressure on the PPM token, because we're very aware that there needs to be significant utility cases for this PPM token to have constant buy pressure. So when we activate the subscriptions, you don't have to participate with that. There'll always be a free version of the app. You can continue to earn tokens the way you have been, but there will be other options, and we'll talk more details of that when we roll them out. So our goal, of course, is to continue on the dominance of the user acquisition, leading with Panda app, and our goal is to rapidly expand to 5 million users and beyond over the next 12 months or less. We also want to start a promotion campaign for Panda 11 into the new year, because that will and has always been one of our goals for a major utility case for people who want to go and play sports fantasy. But we'll be looking at strategic ways to do that, not so much relying on our existing community to all of a sudden want to become fans of crypto sports fantasy. If you want to, you can, but we're gonna take the boat to where the fish are, and we're going to start to play in that space so we can onboard users there and then have ongoing utility case for our token. We want to continue to promote our Bitcoin staking program. We believe that's a really strong offer, and we're going to be talking to some of the leaders around that as we go forward into the coming weeks, and ultimately understanding that during the winter, you need to have your crop in the ground, right? You can't be sitting there going, well, I'm going to wait until summer and then I'm going to go about my harvest, because things take time to mature. So what we know is the next bull run for crypto market is coming as we move towards 2024. And when that happens, you're going to see a lot of new players just diving into the space and trying to just FOMO in and be part of the harvest. But what's going to happen is you're going to be sitting there going, well, you know what? I already had my seed in the ground. I already had my money on the table. I already had my chips sitting there piling up for when the winning hand gets laid out in front of you. All right. We can't be trying to change tires going 110 miles down the highway. Right. So this time is when we are building, developing, perfecting, and just understand that it's going to be worth your while. Absolutely worth your while. So as we further evolve the Panda app, the rewards model will fairly reward those who contribute the most to the community and the project. As you've seen, we've activated the mining button. So every 24 hours, you need to go in and click that button down here in the wallet. So we know that the people who are active are actually the ones getting the rewards. So the other thing too is that as we introduce the different, you can see the membership free, but we're going to introduce a couple of different subscription levels, premium and VIP. This isn't just going to benefit those people who decide to upgrade. It's going to benefit those people who have Panda Pals organization, because part of the X factor, the strongest part of the X factor, which determines how many tokens you receive every 20 minutes, has always been not whether you're using the app, not how much time people in your Panda Pals are using the app, but how many dollars are spent on company paid products and services through your 12 levels. So it's not just about whether you have a paid service or not. It's about how many people within your organization see value in actually spending dollars on these products and services that we bring forward. So Albert, you know, just jump in. So there's a bit of a change of voice here in regard to the staking program.
Sure. Yep. And also about the subscriptions. It's also great for the community because a certain percentage of that is going to buy tokens off the market, and it's going to lock them away for 2 to 3 years, such as the BTC staking program. Right now, there has been over 850,000 tokens that have been bought off the market that are locked away on the farm for 1 year. So that's great for the community, with funds sitting there from the BTC staking program to even buy back more. So this program here, once again, it's a win-win-win-win situation for everybody involved, because just for a minimum of $250, you're buying PPM, you'd be buying it at 7 cents. However, the interest that you'll be paid, whether you pick 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, whether you choose quarterly or monthly payments, it is going to absolutely pay you somewhere between 8% to 33% APR in Bitcoin. And you'd be saving your Bitcoin at a very low price until the next halving. So I expect great things out of this program here for the next 2 years. It's already been very successful. And if you do $1,000 or more, then you're going to receive your Panda Pass, Academy Pass. And this is going to be cut off on February 14th. So you got to do the $1,000 purchase of the Bitcoin first. And this started from the time we announced our birthday, which was November 12th to February 14th. So you want to jump in there and do that, because you're getting a lot of value. You're also getting $149 a pass to the Panda Academy. So let me flip it back to you, Marcus.
Mate, I'm going to flip it back to you, because this is probably the most exciting part of the presentation. Some of these numbers we've been looking at. And just so you guys know,
I'm going to start this slide off by just saying Merry Christmas.
Yeah. So
your Christmas present.
Just so you guys know, what Albert's about to go through here is very exciting and compelling. And we'll be placing this into a corporate video that you can use and get out to people. And in doing that, because ultimately the best thing anybody in the community can do, other than using the app and sharing the app, is actually putting this project in front of people who see value in purchasing PPM tokens. All right, because you know, we're one voice, right? No matter what we do, we can only get our message in front of so many people. But if we have everybody in the community take that message and get that message out in the right way to a bunch of their friends, 10 friends each, that's getting it in front of 10 million eyes. So again, this is a community-driven project. If you want to help yourself, you need to help yourself. So Albert, over to you.
Okay. Yeah, when we were in the boardroom in Thailand, when we were going through the stats, I could see people leaning forward, and they were just so excited about the numbers. And by the time we left Thailand, between all of the people in that think tank, there was about 4 or 5 people that they were thinking of that would make great partners with us, you know, whether it be Panda 11, Legends and stuff. But now, a week after, when we went through, we bring up the slides so I can see the numbers there, Marcus, is that when we went through these numbers, now we have like 12 to 15 people that have a very serious interest in offering us some sort of partnership or investment or something. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go to the Google Play Store, there's approximately 3.5 million apps there. On the Apple Store, there's about 2.25 million. And many of them are the exact same app. You know, you can download the same app from both the stores. So we'll go to 3.5 million. Do you realize that this quest of me trying to find this out started a few weeks ago? And what I was finding out was that if you're considered kind of like a successful app, you're doing kind of good, you have about 50,000 downloads in 1 year. So I said, where does this 1 million compare to versus, you know, what's ever been done? And right now, when we went through all of the companies that we could find that had done 1 million or more downloads in their very first year, there was only 268 of them. And we've researched this and double researched it. And you know all the names. It's like Google Maps, Angry Birds, Candy Crush, Call of Duty. And then what was the valuation of these companies? The valuation of them could have been in 2017, 2018, 2019, because sometimes, you know, it's not current. There was basically only one company out of those 268 that was valued at less than $100 million. Only like one. Okay. Now, when you compare this, you guys already know all these numbers from the presentation. You know, WhatsApp sold for 19 billion. They were one of the companies that did 1 million downloads in their first year. Dropbox, Viper, Zoom. It took 2 years before they got to 1 million. So when we look at these 268 companies, then we sectioned out the ones that have to do with messaging, and we included Zoom over there. Not one of them is under $11 billion in their valuation. And then when you take the whole 268 of them, all of them, there was only one that was like under $100 million. And then something else interesting happened over the last week. We had a financial planner that Marcus has known. He's been a financial planner and an investment guru for 20 some years. We said, put a valuation on our company where we sit right now. And he came back at 50 million. And all of a sudden that reminded me of something that when I was with another company, we used to talk about the user acquisition. And if you added a new user, how much did that make the valuation of your company go back up? So in 2015, Weve had 50 million on their Weve maps, and they were worth 1 billion. So each new person that downloaded Weve map, the company went up by $20 in valuation. WhatsApp went up by $43. And very quickly after that was sold for the 19 billion. At that time, they had about 400 million. And Alibaba, every new customer that come on with them went up $623 because people at Alibaba, they actually spent money. They were buying things and purchasing things. So when you look at Wave and WhatsApp, they were completely free. So our valuation is almost exactly what WhatsApp was. And if you account for inflation, because right now, every user that downloads the app for us brand new, our valuation is going up about $50 because it's 50 million on 1 million. WhatsApp was going up 43. So it's a spot on valuation. And this is why so many people are now coming to us. What we have to do is we just have to pick the best deal. So we are going to have a Merry Christmas. We're going to have a Happy New Year. We have a bright, bright future. It's just the bright future isn't today, but we are getting there. So with that, Marcus, let me turn it over to you. If anything in my excitement that I might have missed, please fill in for me.
Yeah, no, listen, I want to say a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody. And again, we started out by talking about, hey, listen, don't get frustrated so much about where we are and what's not working. Let's zoom back and look at how much have we achieved in our first 12 months. We're 1 year old. We're a baby. We're lucky to be crawling, let alone walking and sprinting the way we are, guys. Think about it. In the history of apps, out of the 3 million plus apps, less than 300 have ever done 1 million users in their downloads for sure. Now, when you look at these valuations that Albert was talking about, again, you need to have some time perspective. WhatsApp didn't sell after 1 year of being in business. One of the owners wanted to quit after 1 year of being in business. They had zero revenue coming in. They were hemorrhaging money hand over fist, right? So we're talking about they started in 2009, and then by 2014, they sold for $19 billion. So that was a 5-year journey before there was a liquidation event. We're 1 year in, guys. So if you want to be a part of our journey, understand this is a real business. And we're not going to compromise on our values because we believe people deserve privacy and security. We believe people don't want people spying on their messages, looking over their shoulder. We believe that this is a community-driven project. And as we grow, the value of the tokens you hold should represent how much you've helped us to grow. All right. So we're going to keep going forward in 2023. We're excited about it. We want to thank you all. Wish you a safe and a happy holiday season, Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Enjoy that time with yourself, your family, and just focus on where we're going, because it's exciting, and we want to thank you all for being a part of it. With that, I know Frank, you're in Hawaii. I don't know if you want to say something. You were, oh yeah, there you are. Do you want to just say anything?
I got my panda shirt.
Look at you go. Mate, you'll be boiling in Hawaii wearing that.
Well, you know what? I'm just so proud of what you guys have done. I'm really, really excited. And, I just want to say this, what are accomplishing this year, what you guys have done, and as of the community, because it's all of us here, is amazing. And we should be proud of it. We've gone through all this. Marcus, I do have a couple of really important things, and I'm really proud of what you guys have done as far as reserving the price of the token. I'm excited. I have a lot of these tokens. I'm not selling one. I'm cherishing all of them. I wish that everybody could see the same value. And hopefully after what you guys have done with the numbers and everything else, they could see that as well. But I want to put one more important thing. I've got involved with this app, not because of the token price. I got involved because of the privacy, humanity, and security, guys. Number one. And I want to share a story because I've been listening to a lot of the FTX. Do you know what they mentioned on FTX, folks? They mentioned Slack and Signal. They never mentioned PunkPanda, and never will they be able to. That makes me proud, guys. You have no idea how excited I am when I hear them talk about other apps where they sold and they can get information. Folks, you can't do that with PunkPanda because of security and privacy. I love the vision. I love our growth. And you have to remember, guys, we're in winter. And one thing in crypto, if you don't have a use case or utility, you're going to die. We have a community, utility, and leadership. We're going to win. So let's stick together. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm fired up. Let's go get them. Thank you very much. Thanks for letting me say a few words from Hawaii. Ciao.
Thanks, Frank. And, we've...
Thank you, Fran.
We've reduced the withdrawal limits, and I'm just curious. I'm not saying we're going to act on it, but I'm curious for the temperature of the community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a poll into the Telegram group. I'm going to ask people if they believe we should keep the withdrawal limits at that 0.5 to 1%, or whether it should be zero until the price hits $2. I'm not saying we're going to change that, but I'm curious for the temperature of the community and what the majority feel about that. So with that, have great holidays. Thanks, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your day.